Good evening, everybody. Well, I'm stuck at home by myself. Chuck went up to the res today to grab some smokes. He stopped off to visit our daughter, and we've had an ice storm, so he's not driving back. And I'm stuck at home. Anyway, I'm up. I made a big pot of chicken soup. So I took a couple chickens out and realized halfway through it I didn't have enough fresh veggies to put in it. So I walked over to our local grocery store, which was not fun, not when you're in the city and it's freezing cold out, and grabbed a few veggies. And I've been home ever since. So I'll be home tonight. Anyway, I see drunk Durs on already, lying like a rug. I mean, how stupid do people have to be to believe that? And she's now going after minors and mentally challenged channels so that, people believe her bullshit. So all these new people you see are coming in are people that, have issues of their own. Hey, Kim, how are you doing? I got your message that you have to go in for surgery. Is it serious? And I will definitely pray for you. So that's what she's doing now. So her channel's completely tanked out. She's spending hours upon hours on YouTube and not getting any subs. What does that say? No, it's not Siri. They just have to take out. Oh, good. Good. You are the last person that would want to see anything bad happen to. You are such a sweet individual. So, yeah, so now she's trolling and lying. All she does is lie. So, for instance, last night, Marty was not there. Or if he did come in, I think near the end, because I heard the door slam when I watched it. But he wasn't there most of that time. Because she wouldn't have been yelling and screaming and carrying on the way she is. I'm doing good. I'm doing really, really good. She was just drunk, and she absolutely 100% made up the whole fucking thing about Michael Morgan. Michael Morgan did not call the police on her last night. She just goes on and on and on. She's got a big obsession with YouTube as she does with alcohol. And it's always the same fucking thing. One or two shows she's drunk as hell, acting like a fool, calling all of you assholes, idiots, losers. And then she comes back on and pretends it never happened, or, it wasn't that bad. I'm great. Are you here? Yeah, I'm here. No. And last night I wasn't even around. I work part-time and I'm older. And anybody that works knows when you get done a day's work, you don't feel like, by the time you eat and whatnot, you're ready for bed. And plus I had to get up the Friday too. So I wasn't all that interested in watching Drunk Dur. And she just talks to me like I'm out there, and I'm not. She's got sort of some weird obsession with me. I think she's half man, half woman. And I think she's attracted to me. Have you ever had any dental surgery, Kim? It's kind of like the same thing. Well, thank you for the hearts. So anyway, she's starting again tonight. She's over on Stumble Chat, just lying to those people, trying to get views to her channel on YouTube. And Robin's right there monitoring that and making sure that nobody says anything that is the truth. Because Robin's just as bad as her. They're two peas in a pod. Darlene cannot make it on YouTube on her own. She could not. She could have never gotten this far. And everybody that has ever helped her out on YouTube has now banned her from their shows. Hang on for a second, you guys. I'll be right back. Come on in, everybody. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, and hi, Audrey. You insipid little twit. Hi, Colleen. How you doing, Colleen? What have you been up to? So, yeah, I mean, everything I have said about that show for the last 3 years has come true. It is what it is. It's a drunk that has no life, whose husband just basically is going through the motions at this point. Hi, Sin. Oh, you've been sick with the flu. Oh, no. And, well, winter's almost over, you guys. That just continues to obsess on doing this same fucking shit over and over and over. I'm just going to tell you, Darlene, Robin, I work 4 days a week. I also run a home. I also have a partner. And I have a grandson and I have adult children. I don't have the time you and Dar have to dedicate to YouTube. And nor would I want to, because look what the fuck it's done to you two women. You become like the next thing to mentally challenged. Well, I retired right around COVID, and then I ended up going back, and I've just kind of went back altogether. But I'm getting up there. I can't handle it as much as I used to. Like and right now I'm working in 2 different places. And they go on and say I'm a cashier. Now I'm going to make this perfectly clear. I have done cashier work, and I'm the type of person, when you've got 5 kids to feed and want to provide them something in life other than junk shit, Audrey, you will go to work at whatever you have to make extra money so that you can better their lives. So I don't have anything against being a cashier, and I think I'm getting a little old now, but I could probably do it pretty easily. But the fact that these women have such a problem with that just floors me. Like, being a cashier is not easy work because you're dealing with a lot of people. What I do is I work sitting in a room looking at several computer screens and I do security for a store. That's what I do. I'm old. I can't handle much more. I couldn't like work as a waitress or run back and forth or any of that crap anymore. I'm getting too old to do that. But I certainly have respect for anyone that deals with the public, especially in this day and age, because people are, there's so many Karens out there. So no, I don't know what their problem is. And it's like you think they paid my fucking bills. But I don't know. That they're just YouTube trolls is all they are. And they've gotten away with it for so long. They have that it's their social life. So it's what they do. And my partner isn't like Marty. And I don't believe they have a clue. I don't believe they have a clue outside their house either. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I got respect for like a say a couple that get together and they have children and they build a life together. And that's something I have a lot of respect for because that takes a lot. And they build a nice nest egg and a nice home and all that. But that's not what these bitches are. These bitches are divorcees that have popped out. Well, Audrey's a divorcee that has lived off working at a Bissell factory, child support, and her mother. And Darlene, well, she didn't get married till she was 40. She hasn't brought anything to that marriage. No job, no money, no children, no comfort, nothing. They're just old whores is all they are. And I don't have respect for that. But for you women that have committed yourself to raising children and to keeping relationships together, and the ones that go out and get jobs, like I don't have to work. I never had to work if I didn't want to. We got to a certain point where Chuck made more than enough money for me to just stay home and ride around and drink my face off or smoke dope all night. But I'm not that type of person. I'd rather go out there and be relevant in society, and I'd like to be able to. I don't want to have to treat my husband or my partner like he's my daddy. I want him to be my partner. So like for instance, Audrey, like the man Audrey's with now, she's only been with for like 20 years. That ain't shit compared to these women and the kids she's blown out. Well, they're by two different men. And she likes to come on and claim, oh, I'm like all that. And because I worked at a Bissell factory for 20 years. You worked at a factory for 20 years. You do not live a good, and you're not working, and all you're doing is sitting home and babysitting your grandkids. You're living off the man you're married to's paycheck. Plain and simple. You aren't doing your share. And I think about to myself, like if I had sons and my son brought home a woman like Audrey or Darlene, no. I would like, I wouldn't want that in their lives because it would be nothing but hurt to my daughters. Like when you have a relationship where a guy has been raised by a good mother who teaches them, you got to do your share, you got to go to work, you got to clean, you got to look after the kids. And then a girl is raised that same way. Well, when they get together, the chances of their marriage being a happy, successful one are far greater than what the hell Audrey and Dar would raise. They they raise these, well, we'll do the women have to do everything for you. That's what they raise. And then what happens in today's society, because women have to work, they get tired. They need help. They can't do the whole family thing on their own because they're working. And it just decreases the chance of them having a happy, long-lasting marriage. And that's what I would never want for anyone's son or anyone's daughter. So if I would have had boys, they would have been treated the same as the girls. There would have been no um, extra because they had a penis attached to them. It would be very simple. You do your share, everybody does their share, and then things get done properly. Now, Audrey's put out a thing claiming that I hid my channels because Audrey, God, you'd almost think Audrey works for fucking Fox News. Ah, she's too ugly. She's dumb enough, but too ugly. Uh, if there are channels, because I said I've never hidden myself, and then I said every channel has had my name attached to it, because I didn't take it a little bit farther and say, if I had a channel out there, you'd know it was me. Or did I say that? Yeah, I think I did. Audrey came back and said something about, oh, she's hid herself on channels. Her name wasn't on channels. No, they weren't. Not the ones where I did lives. I used to do lives in my old apartment. And Audrey can't, she's got to twist and turn things to make it in her favor. Audrey, you're nothing but a liar, a little twit, and you're mentally ill. You've spent 4 fucking years tracking me and videotaping me and in trying to get people to go after me. You're sick. Get a life. And then you want people to believe that you have a life. And you constantly like to call out my partner, where I live. One day you even said you counted my footsteps. Like you're fucking crazy. That's nuts. And I never did any of that to you because I couldn't be bothered. I got too much going on in my real life. And I thought all the time she does this, she is scared to show her face. She's scared to come on and do a live. She's never done a live, ever. But seems to think she can weigh in about whether I'm present or not. She has never shown her husband and seems to think she can weigh in about my partner. She constantly hides and creeps and backstabs and plays games on YouTube. And I don't, and that bothers the crap out of her. I think anybody who has followed my channel by now knows if I got something to say, I'm going to fucking say it. I don't need to hide behind drunk der. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that shit. So other than that, let me see what else has been going on with me. Oh, I had a heart attack. Yes, I did. And I didn't even know I had it. And guess what? I'm fine. I basically woke up one night. I don't even know how to explain to you what it did. I was in really bad pain in the middle of, in the trunk of my body. And I got up and I was half asleep. And I kind of remember coming into the kitchen, leaning on the, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, leaning over the chair and sitting there with my arms my arms hanging over the chair. I've got bar stools in my kitchen. I'm leaning over the bar stool thinking, oh my God, if this pain doesn't stop, I'm going to have to go to the hospital. And I don't want to do that. And it stopped. Well, come to find out, I had a heart attack. And I'm fine. And I guess apparently that happens quite a bit. People have heart attacks and they don't really know they have them. Yeah. Now, of course, my doctor read me the riot act. And none of that surprises me because everyone in my family has always passed away due to a weak heart. So it's kind of genetic. And I mean, we all got to go, let's face it. So if I'm going to go, I guess that's a way to go. My father had 2 pacemakers before he passed away. You know what? I think it scared it scared the shit out of Chuck more than it did me. Because he was just when I told him when I got to the doctor's office and I said, apparently I've had a heart attack. He's like, he just went dead silent. And I said, well, I'm okay. But anyway, they're monitoring my heart and I'm pretty much good. I get a little tired more often. I don't know if that's a side effect of it, but and eventually if it happens again, they're going to have to put a pacemaker in. It is what it is. So anyway, what have you guys been up to? What have you been doing? Kim, I know what you've been doing. I'm so proud of the channel you've got going. You have done such a great job. I love coming over and visiting you, and I love to come and play your games that you have. And it's such a positive and good channel. Drunk Dirk could take some lessons from you, honey. And Jesus June is right back doing videos on me, lying like a rug. And she's now trashing another channel called Meet the Hales, doing the same thing she did to me as she did to them, as doing to them as she did to me. You know, at first she was like really nice, and then she just up and decided that I was a bad person and started making up stories. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to contact Jeremy Hale. And I did. Did you see the video where I was pranking everyone and I'm going to quit YouTube and at the... No, I didn't see that, Kim. So I talked to Jeremy Hale, and he apparently, he's already striked her once. And I gave him all the background I had on her. And he just about laughed his ass off. This guy has 700,000 followers. And June thinks she's going to affect him. So I don't know whether June's still doing her thing or not. Well, you know what, Sin? She didn't, I'm not going to say she had me fooled, but she was trying to come across like she was, really into me and whatnot. And I was like thankful. I was like, okay, well, everything you're saying is nice, but I wasn't into it. There's nothing about her that's Christian, except that she says it. It's the same as Dar. There's nothing about Dar that's Christian, except she says she's Christian. The rest of it is just all bullshit. And the one that got me is when she hooked up with Audrey, she got really fucked up in the head. I know you do, Kim. You can really tell when you do videos that you enjoy it. And it's really nice to see you succeed. After watching all these videos, I'm seriously sick of these people, these friggin' drifters, like grifters. Like Dar now saying, someone asked her, well, why don't you have a P.O. box anymore? And she said, well, because I can't afford it. She never had it paid for it in the first place. Audrey did. And that's another thing. If you are, how silly and stupid can you be to pay for a post office box for somebody you'll never know or never see that has a channel like Drunk Durs? How stupid. I mean, Audrey likes to make it out that she's got, a good brain on her head when it comes to finances. That right there says it all. Sitting on YouTube paying for Drunk Durs post office boxes and sending her plastic toys like her stupid lights. Like no person that has any sort of financial whereabouts does waste their money like that. Now so yeah, what happened with June is she just is who she's bipolar, she's nuts. She's easily, do you ever notice the people around Audrey are always either have substance problems, health problems, or are easily led, are naive. That's the best word for it. Because that's who Audrey targets. Because Audrey gets off on it. And that's basically what she did to June. When she seen June was going to turn on me, Audrey was all over that. And I don't know if you guys have seen that video where I did of her of Drunk Dur on Beers and Cheers when she had that psychotic breakdown. Well, they haven't let her back on panel since. And I don't think Beers and Cheers has either. But I mean, they don't care. Those channels are all about drunks, and the freakier you get, the better, because that's what attracts people to their channel. And that's why Dar has went in such a nasty direction now and letting it all hang out. Dar has been this vulgar of a drunk all along. It's just she hid it. But now she's not. She's using it to try to get people to watch her. So the more drunk she is, the more freaky she is, the more people are going to watch her. And I don't know why she keeps saying I go into Stumble Chat. I don't. I don't think that Dar or her, Robin, understand, or June understand that I don't have the time nor the desire to invest the amount of effort they do and have in the last 4 years. I just don't. I just don't. I don't want to. All I did was came on. I didn't know anybody. I had a lot of fun. I got involved. I was shocked to see what was going on. And our channels all took off, especially back when I was doing lives on a regular basis. But then after a while, it was like, okay, it's the same old thing over and over again. I got other things to do, and the channels were not going anywhere. So I was like, okay, well, I'm done with it. And they try to use what they like. Mike, oh my God, like they have made up so much shit about Mike and Kathy. It's not even funny. And we just laugh about it. Mike purposely will go into Drunk Dur's room just to get her razzed. And Chuck will say to me once in a while, Cindy, do a video, get her going, get her going. And I'm like, no, I can't be bothered. And with everything else that's going on in the world today, there's more important things to be doing than dealing with sitting in a room with a drunk, watching a drunk. But pretty much everything I have ever said about that woman from the very beginning is absolutely true. I've basically I've told the truth about what I did. And Sin, I think you were around when I wrote the Red Hat ladies a letter. But as far as calling the police and all that, I never did any of that shit. None of it. Now I know who the unknown caller is. And you want to hear something funny? The unknown caller now talks to Marty on a regular basis. She's been calling Marty now for, gosh, 2 years. And it's to the point when she talks, they've developed a relationship. And that woman is not from Canada. She's in the United States. So, Dar, you better watch out. Because when your husband needs somebody to talk to, it's the unknown caller he's talking to these days. And that's why he isn't telling Dar about it or making a big deal about it. Because they've actually developed a online friendship or over the phone friendship. And she feels very sorry for Marty because she's gotten to know him a bit. But in the beginning, there was at least 3. There was Gumdrop Mama. There was, what was that? Delray Beach. There was the unknown caller. All 3 were calling him. None of them were me or Mike. And yeah, Mike did call the cops a couple times. That's when she was out on the porch saying that Mike was going to come down and shoot her. So Mike's like, he called the cops and he was like, listen, I am in West Virginia Virginia, and I have no intention on going to Florida at all. And I guess that resulted in a wellness check. But right now, she's got neighbors. I don't know if you've noticed that. She's got neighbors. And so and she's yelling and screaming and acting a fool. It's going to happen a lot. So when she says it's Michael Morgan or me, she's lying. We're burned out on her. We don't care. Right now, Mike and Kathy have had this deck, kind of like a gazebo platform they've had for years. And they decided to put a roof on it and screen it in and stream television out there so that they live in a beautiful, it's already like 80 degrees there. So they're in a beautiful climate and they're just there enjoying it all. And that's what they're doing. And I'm busy working. Chuck and I are busy with going back and forth up north still with spending time with my nephew. And I never had that when I first started. So things have really changed in our lives. And yet those two, Audrey and Darlene, are still doing the same old shit over and over and over again. And that even goes to the point, oh, hang on a sec. Right. Well, that's another thing. That last video she did. All right, I'll tell you why I know she made it up. First of all, that Mike called the cops on her. First of all, if you noticed, the window was wide open. Drunk as that old bitch has gotten over the years, she always shuts the house down before she passes out. Second of all, she had half a beer. So if she was in bed and still had a half a beer, we all know it wasn't from the show before, because Dar never leaves any beer left in the bottom of that glass. She guzzles it down like a pig. What was the other one that got me? That made it very. There was another thing too that I was like, well, that's absolute bullshit. Oh, and Marty, according to her, he was in the hot tub. Well, if you look at the timeline, he was in the hot tub for 3 fucking hours. I mean, there's neighbors there. Who in the hell stays in a hot tub for 3 hours? It was all bullshit. She got off the show. She talked to Audrey. And the other thing too, if you rewatch that show, you will notice she, ever so often, she will look down and look to the left, because she's got Audrey on her iPad, and Audrey is telling her talking points and laughing, because Audrey thinks it's funny getting an old drunk woman on YouTube and helping her drink herself to death. But Audrey thinks that's fun. That's funny. And the only two people out of all of us that have ever been involved that I know, well, three, that are up all night are Dar, June, and Audrey. The rest of us go to bed. But anyway, I'm going to get off and I'm going to finish my chicken noodle soup. Y'all have a good evening, and it was nice talking to you. I'll talk to y'all later. Don't be fooled by these grifters. That's all they are. If it's not for something free, if it's not to try to get subs or views, none of it's real. It's all fake. And that includes Petty Furball. Her last video, I watched that. Now, I'm an old farm girl. And anybody out there who has ever come from a farm knows you don't put your animals right out your back door. She was having goats right out her back door, and chickens. And another thing, she lives on an island where there's not much to do. She's another one that struggles with something to do in her life. She's barely above sea level, like what, a few inches, maybe a foot. So there are snakes, there are muskrats, there are rats, there are mice, there is vermin. We all deal with certain things like that depending on the environment or areas we live in. And she is putting chickens and goats right next to her house. And I'm like, oh my God. Like this bitch has no clue what she's doing. And then she turns around and she decides she's going to incubate eggs. And she incubates them inside her house. Petty Furball. You put your little do-rag on, get on your Terry's little boat that he captains, take a ride over to the co-op and buy a box of baby chickens. It's 2025. You don't want dirty birthing going on in your house. And then on top of it, she shows her cleaning out a little shed. And that shed, she says something got into the feed, rats. And look at her hands, perfect nails, perfect nail polish. This girl isn't a homesteader. She's not a farmer. She's just a fake and phony. And Terry Lardass is doing all that work. Grifting. Like fake bullshit. Just come out and be real. Anyway, take care. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.